Good morning. I'm Jeff Prater. I'm the Director of Library Services, and today we're here to talk about OER materials to enhance your instruction. Last week we focused on textbooks. This week we're going to focus on everything that's but textbooks, okay? In our objectives, we're going to explore some of the portals that are for non-textbook materials. We're going to understand the library's role in open education resources and review the 4 ERs of Creative Commons. So what we can do, again, as a library, we can help you locate materials if you're looking, interpret Creative Commons symbols, reuse, revise, and remix, and pursue in the advanced stages, pursue authoring opportunities. And a story from last week, one professor came to me and said they wanted this book, and it was from a publisher, Wiley, and they would like electronic access to spread to their students. And we looked through all the OER stuff and we couldn't find it, but we did find it in the library. And that is still available for student use, and it is they've already paid for it. So besides using the OERs, we still have the library materials that we can link and have the students access as well. And the 4 OERs, again, are to revise. You can adapt and improve on the material. You can remix the material, reuse, and redistribute, and that in most cases is based on if it has a Creative Commons license. And the Creative Commons license, again, from left to right, on the left hand side is attribute, you have to attribute the source to the original author if you see that symbol. The second one with the no dollar sign means that you cannot take the material and sell it commercially. The other one is that you can share alike. And the last one is that maybe an author feels that their resource is really good and they don't want you to mash it up. They'll tell you that they don't give you permission to mix it up or remix it, but you can contact them and ask for permission. So it's a lot, using Creative Commons is a lot looser than traditional copyright. And for going through the licensing types, I've gone through and highlighted in here which, what are the different points and what to pay attention to. So you can check that out on the slides. And looking at this again, so looking at number 5 here, the author has given us, just to interpret the symbols, the author's given us, they want the article attributed to them, they don't want you to sell it, and they give you permission to share it throughout, okay? But there's some variations on the symbols and the combinations that you may see. And some of the questions last week were, what are we doing? You know, what is faculty expected to do? So both of these workshops are to get you familiar with the resources and apply them to your classes right away. And we used, I brought in from the activity last week from the OER. This is an excellent example. This is Dr. Sachs' response. And here she explored a linguistics textbook, and she said, well, I'm going to probably use 3 or 4 chapters out of this. I'm not going to use the whole textbook, but I'm going to use parts of it. And that's an example of using an OER. You know, you don't have to use the whole thing if you don't want. You can use things that apply to you. Further, looking at the quality, Dr. Sachs read some of the material. And the reaction, the visual appeal wasn't as nice as a commercial textbook, and some of the external links went to Wikipedia, but the writing style was accessible, and the benefit of the hyperlinks, and there's a multi-modality thing where people can click on that resource and hear different sounds which you don't get from a print textbook. So again, you have to make sure you review the resources thoroughly and agree to if they meet your standards. In some cases, they might just link to Wikipedia. In other cases, or that maybe that's okay, but just make sure you review your materials. All right, so we're going to go to the OER page off the library. Again, it's under for faculty, open education resources. And the first one we'll look at is the Creative Commons search. Now, when you see this, couple things to point out. Why isn't it showing my screen? Okay. So what we can see here, this search will look for materials that have the Creative Commons license, and you have a couple of selections here. One is used for commercial services, and the other is to modify, adapt, or build upon. I've checked that, and you can see some of the things that you put your term in here, and then you'll click on what resource you want them to look for. So if you want them to do a Google search, do you want them to look for an open clip art library? Pixabay is an excellent resource for images. A lot of them are artists trying to get their name out, and a lot of them give away their material and don't, and they're very, very good pictures. We've used a lot of them. YouTube videos, that's a concern when you use YouTube. YouTube's not very good at policing their materials. They let there's so much material on there that they can't do it. So if you're not sure if you're using copyrighted material or not, I would go through here for the Creative Commons search. So I'm going to try. Let's see if we have. So, this source is for multimedia kind of sources. So you're looking for things to add to your PowerPoint. You're looking for videos to enhance your instructions. So, for instance, here's one on project management, and you can look to the right here, and as you see, this author has allowed this for commercial use and no attributions necessary. So you can download and use this without having to worry about even citing the author of the web page you got it from. What penalty? And here I've done a YouTube search, and it has a number of YouTube videos that have the Creative Commons license. You can see here's CC right there. You can see them here, and so these, honestly, if you're going to link to YouTube videos, it's really crucial that you make sure that they're not copyright protected, and a very good way to do that is to go through the Creative Commons search through YouTube and have that filtered out for you. Our next resource is Khan Academy, and instead of what I'm going to have you do is we're going to watch a 2-3 minute video on this, and Khan Academy has a lot of resources in it for a review, and then you can set these up, and you can if you put your students in and a grade book, you can track who's watched it and who's not watched it, and who's done an activity. So I'm going to show just a short video that I think which will do a great job. The other thing that you can do is there's a short, a very engaging 60-minute thing where you can get a certificate of completion for the Khan Academy. It's designed for instructors, and I don't see why. I would talk to your deans if you can use that for in-service credit or not, but I don't see why that would not be approved. But I think it's something very worthwhile to do some of the training. So.
Khan Academy is really easy. It makes it so simple to make the account. It's all free, which still blows my mind. Where I would start with Khan Academy, being new to Khan Academy, is pick one topic, maybe one topic per week that you can search, and try assigning just one assignment or one video, and see where it takes you. It will be amazing how easy it is to then start using that to subgroup kids, to get more feedback, to be able to track their progress. Yes.
The way that I got started with Khan Academy is by being a student myself. I didn't necessarily have the math topics that I needed to learn, but I enjoyed going on to see how they were being done and presented on Khan Academy, and then I try the problems and then see how I did. Sometimes I make mistakes too.
So the way that I started with Khan this school year was I had the kids do a scavenger hunt. They totally, for an hour, was just doing a scavenger hunt and playing with the website, just getting them excited about it, and just seeing their reactions. When I saw their reactions with Khan and all the cool features and even things that they were discovering that weren't on the scavenger hunt, then I knew, okay, this is totally doable. When I'm looking for resources on Khan, the first feature is the search feature. It's really friendly. You can put in almost any topic and it'll pull up either the grouping of topics that go with that. So since our current unit is about solids, I can put in 3 dimensions and it will bring up all the different things that Khan Academy has available. I can be more specific and put in things like Pythagorean theorem, and it will take me right to that.
It's broken down into very simple content units. You can watch a video for a couple minutes, you can look at the article, you can test out the practice set to see if that's the material that you want your students to be getting, and then you decide how you want to use it. Do you want to use it as homework? Do you want to use it as practice inside of class? Do you want to use the video to help you deliver the content, or use the video to help you review the content later down the road? There's so many options and there's so many ways to utilize it that I think once a teacher has seen how easy it can be, they get excited about trying it out.
I think at first I was more focused on maybe students who were absent, who needed to get the material in a different way, because I was still teaching in a very traditional sense. But then I started realizing this could be used in other ways. This could help in the classroom. This could help as part of daily practice. And the key for me with Khan Academy is it didn't become one more thing. It was a better thing that took the place of other things I had been doing.
So first thing we need to do, as you get more comfortable with Khan Academy, model some things in the classroom. Maybe pick a set of problems, project those for the kids, and work through them together. You can show the kids how to use the hints, you can show the kids how to use the video, and along the way, you end up learning how to use Khan Academy too, without spending any time outside of class.
You can see this is designed for all school, kindergarten through all the way up to into college, and you have the different subject matters. And there's math on the left-hand side. On the bottom, there's some computer programming, and these things could definitely be used as supplement. And I know Dr. Asalbe, when he was here, used Khan Academy to review different computer programming things and also some statistical things as well. So, and there's also some test preparation if you use any of these tests for your area. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is Merlot 2. That the slides that I sent are the slide that is there currently next is out of order and it's going to be replaced. But so with Merlot 2, remember to log in. The login is free for instructors, and it gives you the ability to leave comments and download materials. I'm going to open up the advanced search, and a couple things that I want to point out here right off the bat. Cost involved. You want to select, if you don't want to bring up materials that you have to purchase, remember that with OERs, some of them can, if the author gives the permission, a company can come in, take the stuff, and repackage it and sell it. If you don't want that, I would select no here. If you're looking for a certain kind of thing, or you're looking for an image, a PDF, a video, you can select that as well. But what I like a lot is on the left-hand side is the material type, and we can see. I think there's something for every department in here. When we look at material type, we have some animations, assignments, case studies, drill and practice if you need it, online course if you want to go that far, the textbook which we showed last week, and there are lesson plans, I believe, in here. I'm missing it, but I have seen, there's also simulations if you'd like it. So, we'll let you. All right, so one of the, you can select the discipline if you'd like. I'm going to just select business and see what kind of case study material they have. So there's 150 different results, and you can search the results as you'd like, or you could go on the left-hand side and narrow down your search, and you can see there's some case studies in accounting, there's some in management, and then you can pick your audience, and maybe you can even pick a couple more, but are you looking at college, lower division, upper division, graduate school? You might want to check all of those just to check them out and see if they're appropriate for your classroom. Other filters, if you like the editorial reviews and reading those, you can do those as well. I recommend leaving that off and doing a search to see what you can see, and you can see here's a peer review of that and a user rating that may help you make the case if you want to use that material or not. Okay. So our next resource, when we're looking at it, is MIT OpenCourseWare. And this is from MIT. These courses are designed, you don't get a grade for them, but the information's put out. And again, unless it says otherwise, you're allowed to use this, you're allowed to share it and download it. There are cases where a professor may say, hey, we want to give you permission to use it, how are you going to use it? So there may be material out there that, it will say right above the material, please contact Professor so-and-so for use in this. This is embarrassing. And you can select from different resources, audio-visual lectures, supplemental resources, some mixed sources if you'd like. But basically, if you open a course, I also recommend going over here to For Educators, and then you can search for teaching materials, and it has this kind of selection. So let's find a topic that's taught here. I saw electrical, it's environmental engineering. All right, linguistics and philosophy. If you were looking for different things, you could say, okay, what kind of audio do you have? And when you select that, you look below, and here's a video that has, well, this is the featured video, but it has the resource there for you if you'd like. If you'd like to use exams, there's lecture notes, projects, simulations. So you would open up, actually you would open up the course, and then you would search for the material. Okay. So the slides that were misplaced, this slide is the next, this would be OER. OER Commons. We looked at this last week, and you have a couple different ways to go through here. One is that you can use the general search box, and you can select your education level, graduate or professional if you'd like, college or upper division. You can't select more than one on this search feature. But if you do the Discover and do Discover resources, then you can do it from a browse kind of search. So, number of options here. Do you want to just look in your subject area? Do you want to just look at lesson plans or material types? You can do that. What I recommend is going into your area. And then you have the selection, and then you can go down into material types. So we're in business. I selected business, right? Yes, I selected business, and I'm looking for, again, for case studies. So I'm going to hit this case study to limit it to case studies in here, and you can see that there's ratings with it. You click on the resource, and then it gives you a rating. A number of people have given it 5 stars. And it opens up to your resource. The last resource we showed last week, but it's for our computer science folks. Well, it was intended for only for computer science, but what we learned is that there's more in here. If you go to resources and go to the browse the resources, you can see that there's an economics section, there's geography, mathematics. So it's heavily geared towards, since it's the Applied Math and Science Education repository, pardon me, it's heavily favored towards the sciences, but there are a few other topics in here. And again, you have two different ways to go about looking for your area. So you can go this way, and then computer science will list the resources, and then you can add them to a folder once you're logged in. And it'll tell you where the resource is coming from. or you can go directly to an advanced search, and number of limiters there. You can go to the resource, and what kind of resources are you looking for? Are you looking for cases? Are you looking for collections, data sets, things like that? And you can select the access rights, free access. In this repository, there's some that come with purchasing options, but you can filter them out this way. And you can select the language you'd like them in. So now my connection was interrupted. Oh. I'm on the wireless network. There we go. So this one only had one free resource, but Center for Intelligent Information Retrieval comes from the University of Massachusetts. I'm going to take off the free access. It doesn't seem that for data science that there is. Did I search data science? It doesn't seem like there's a lot data set. There's not a lot of materials on the data sets, but you can see that there is. Let's just leave this wide open. All right, so we have 23 resources that I selected: image, instructional materials, collections, charts. So there's a wide variety of materials here that you could add. What I suggest for all the resources that I've showed you is to review them. Some you can use in PowerPoint, some you can use as supplemental material, and the others you can just go ahead and put into in all of them. You should be able to link them or put them directly into your Canvas shells. But again, if you have any questions on use or whatever, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I can help resolve those things. Oh, there is one left. How could I forget? The other thing is, if you want to kind of cut to the chase, Google Advanced Search does have on the bottom a user rights filter. So you can go through, and this will go through the Common Core, Common Creative's licenses. So you can select free to use or share, or free to use, share, or modify. Select your choice, put in your search term, and that will bring back a wide variety of materials if you're looking. And again, you have the language filters. I don't think they have a material filter, but huh?
Where are the permissions on the answer database? The permissions.
Which on Answer?
Yeah.
The permissions, they vary, but you'll have to open the record.
I see.
And there is a warning if you read the heading in what do you call it, on the OER web page. If it comes from Scout, the Scout archive, that you have to put in your resource that you borrow. You're using that material from that archive. Otherwise, usually the material is free for use. Okay, this is going right to the page. I'm looking to see if one lists of restriction. A lot of these, in this search, it didn't, none of the searches came back with a, with any of them that use ratings, but it will tell you in here whether you can use it or not. I use the filter-free access here, so that's wiping out all the permissions. Did you see how it's limited? It's the limiter up here in the advanced search. So let's go outside. Yeah, that's what I can show you. Go outside the advanced search. So if you don't have the filter on, it's not, the system's not, is playing with me, but let's go back and see if there's any that list. You have to go and open up the record. That one's open access, so that's self-explanatory. This one is page not found. Okay. But yes, the permissions will be here when you open up the record. But I highly recommend using the advanced search, that where you can filter that out. Unless, if you do find, you might want to search it first without the filter on and see if you do find a good resource. And then if you have any questions about the use, you can go ahead and ask me.